So let me share my screen. All right, so you all should see my, looks like a PowerPoint, correct? Thank you. So, and you can all hear me, good, okay. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about, like I said, a very brief introduction to CSS. Most of you have met me before, some of you haven't. My name is Michelle Frechette. I am the Director of Community Engagement for Stellar WP, which is part of Liquid Web. I work with the plugins LearnDash, GiveWP, Restrict Content Pro, the Events Calendar, Cadence. I always forget one or two when I do this, Orderable and Iconic. And I also am the Director of Community Relations for Post Status. So if you've ever gotten the Post Status newsletter, I'm writing in that too. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on my WordPress repository, or you can find all the things if you go to meetmichelle.online if you're interested in following up with me at all afterwards. So what is CSS? CSS actually stands for, the letters do, Cascading Style Sheets. The style of your WordPress website gets what's like colors and fonts and all of that from the style sheet. That's part of your theme has a CSS file in it that holds all of those things. If you want to affect a change for those things, then you would need to edit the CSS. However, and this is coming up later, we never want to edit the actual theme files because the next time you update your theme, all of your changes will be gone. So there's ways that we're going to edit the CSS without actually editing your actual style sheets. CSS describes how those HTML elements are to be displayed on the screen, or specifically for us on the screen, other media, things like that. It can actually save a lot of work because when you want to affect the color change on a button, you can affect the color change on all the buttons if you're calling out the right classes. So we're going to take a look at how we can do that within your website. It can be used to create, which is that original style sheet that comes with your theme, or to overwrite what comes in there if we use the CSS editor, which I'm going to show you how to use. You can also create child themes. We're not going to get into that today, creating child themes, but you can create a child theme with a new style sheet in it, and within that style sheet, that would override the previous style sheet. The child theme elements supersede the parent theme elements. So you would see changes that you make in that, but we're not going to do child themes today. We're going to use the built-in CSS editor that comes with WordPress. So the first thing you have to figure out is to identify what it is that you want to change. And that's going to help us tell us what code needs to be put in that CSS area. So let's say we want to meetmichelle.online and we see these buttons are purple. Let's say we want to change the color of those purple buttons. If you go to the page, and I'm going to demonstrate this in a minute, we're going to walk through it first, and then I will bring up a page and absolutely demonstrate that for you. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to right click on any one of those buttons and say inspect. Now this is, I use the Chrome browser to do this, but it works in Firefox, it works in other browsers, of course. Right click, inspect. It used to say inspect element, now it just says inspect. And then you will see the CSS that goes with that element that you've clicked over. So you'll see in the right-hand side, we've got button visited, block button link active. There's all those different things. And if you can see where it says background, and it's got a purple box, VAR, and then color, white box, VAR. Background is going to be the background of that button. Color, without anything associated with it, is always going to be your text. So color is the text, background is the background color. If you saw body, the body always means the body of your text as well. So it doesn't say text, it doesn't say font, but it will say body, or it will just say color. So then there you can see what that looks like there. Let's take a look. This is what I pulled out from that top section where it said button visited, etc. So it says background, VAR, color VAR, because it's pulling those colors out of the palette. Everything before that curly brace, that left curly brace, identifies what the element is that you want to edit. Everything within the curly braces actually is the style that we can edit. So the background, the color, the padding, box shadow, things like that, margins. There's so many different things that you can control with the CSS. There are two places you can click to open that CSS editor. One is you can go to your dashboard, go to appearance, and then customize. The other, if you're logged into your website, in the black bar across the top, you'll see, like in the left-hand side, you'll see the name of your website, and then you may see other buttons, but one of those will say customize, one of those links. Both of those are going to open the CSS customizer, or they're going to open the customizer for the website, and one of those will be to edit the CSS. Please note, like I said before, if we make changes in here, they're not going to be overwritten by any theme or WordPress core updates, which is why we don't edit them in the core files. We do it on the CSS, in the CSS editor. So here you'll see I've taken that first line where it says background, VAR global palette, and the top one, I've changed it to the bottom one to say blue. And now those buttons that you saw before were purple are now blue. And in the CSS editor, this is what I've added, that circled area. And that's what it looks like when we put it there to make a change. So what can we change with CSS? We can change the background color, the font color, size, weight, etc. We can change fonts themselves. We can change padding around certain elements. We can change the margins. We can change text alignment, borders around things, not only the weight, the color. We can change the roundness of the corners. We can change link colors. We can change hover effects, opacity. We can hide elements, and we can do a lot more. This is my favorite funny, is that CSS is awesome. And you'll see the box didn't actually go around where it belonged, because CSS, while it seems simple, can sometimes be the crux of your entire day, because it can absolutely look like it should be doing what it's doing, and somehow there's an element that's messing around with it and making it not appear as awesome as it should. So if you try to do something on your site and it doesn't work, don't worry, don't get frustrated. It's just that there's other styles that are taking precedence over it. There's always a way to get there. Sometimes it isn't as easy as it seems, but there's always a way to accomplish what you're looking to do. And then the ace up your sleeve is this important tag. So it should override anything that comes before it. It's not recommended as best coding practice. If you wanted, for example, all of your links, those are called A, right? So A, like ahref, you would say maybe you wanted them all to be colored red. You could say red, and then next to it, you'd put exclamation point important, and then your semicolon, and then your right curly brace. You can use colors. You can say any color off of the main spectrum, or if you want to go specific shades, you can use hash codes instead, hex codes instead. It makes it a little bit easier. And I do have some resources. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. So let me change what I'm showing you. And we're going to dig right into it and show you what it looks like. Okay, so now you should see the meetmichelle.online. Lovely little one-page website, lots of purple. So let's say that I wanted to change the background color from this light lavender to something else. All I have to do is right-click over it and then hit inspect. And now I'm going to see everything that has to do with that background. So if I come down here, let's see. Of course, it's going to make a liar out of me because it's hidden behind something else. Let's try this instead. Yeah, it's pulling out the entire thing. All right, let's go to a link then. So I've got this link. Let's inspect that link. So you can see now, A, which means our links, the color is this purple color. And it's got a transition, right? So if I hover over it, it goes to this darker, like maroon color. And you can see that transition here is linear. If I want to change this color, let's say I want to change this color, I can use a picker here. I want it to be blue. Did you see they all just turned blue at the top? Mm-hmm. Right. Or I can go green, right? So all of that. Now, I can see what it looks like this way, but it's not actually changed anything. If I hit refresh, It's actually all exactly the way it belonged because I haven't actually made a change. I've only looked at what it might look like if I made a change. I can also delete that and just say green. I'm going to get whatever green means. I could go dark green. And so that's going to override whatever was in the regular style sheet where I'd set those originally. Now, if I wanted to, let's say, do a hash code of a hex code or something, if I wanted them to be white, well, that's not really good. Amy June's probably cringing because that's not accessible, not a good idea. We, of course, would not do white. It's just that that's the one I have in my head. If I wanted to do that red color before, I could do the hex. And what was that?
FF0000.
Right, but I don't want to do white. I want to do a different color. So let's say I wanted to do
yellow.
FF0000.
Oh, you're right. Okay, thanks. So we've got here. Now they're all red. Oh, and somebody wants to come in. Okay. So now if I want to make sure that this actually stays, I can actually copy this. I can copy that whole, copy with that there. So I've just copied that to the dashboard. I can come up here to customize. Let's put that out. And then down here, additional CSS. So you see, as soon as I logged out of the bottom or closed the bottom, it went back to purple. But if I put it here now, you can see it's all red. And if I click publish, it's going to stay that way. So now if you pull up meetmichelle.online, it's going to be red. Now, is that really a good idea? No, of course not. It looks like crap. So if I want, I can delete that again. It'll go back to normal, click publish, and we're back to the way it was.
Michelle, a question.
Yeah.
When you did that, you're affecting the whole website. Since
Yes.
You didn't have any descender classes, you weren't narrowing it down, right?
Correct. I did that for all links across the entire site. And this is a one-page website. So if I wanted to show you, like, you can change for navigation for certain elements of your navigation. So if you want to make just the donate page bright red, you can isolate just that one element by element number, and then affect it for just that one area. The other thing you can do is you can create divs, which we're not going to go into either because that's much more advanced than what we're doing today, but you can create divs and then just apply CSS codes to certain divs in your site. But I do want to keep it as basic as possible today. So like we did in the slideshow, if I inspect one of those buttons, down here I've got the color for that. If I want to change that to red, I can do red. Or I can do a dark red. That looks better than regular red. And then again, I can copy that whole section, paste it up here, and now it's staying what I wanted. And it's also still, let's see if I publish it. It should still have the hover class on it. Maybe it won't, because I didn't put the variation on it. So now it's red. Yep, now it's going to stay red. But if I don't want it to do that, I'm going to delete it or change it to something else. Like I said, very basic, looking at just some basic elements. Something that you could do, so you could see, you could also use display none. So this theme that I used is the Cadence theme, and it comes with a header display. And there was no way to say I don't want the header to display because it's a one-page site. So I did this entry hero, page hero section, entry header, and put display none important. But if I delete that, I'm suddenly getting this Meet Michelle at the top here. So, and that looks terrible because it's a one-page website. I didn't want that to show. So I had to put that important tag because without the important tag, it didn't think that I was right. I shouldn't want that. And so I had to put the none and then just the important tag with it too, to make sure that it overrode anything that came before it. And then because it was still showing up on mobile, I had to put that same thing for mobile header, display none.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
Michelle, this is Trevor.
Hi, Trevor.
So this is the type of thing that could run into caching issues.
Could.
So if I reload my page at some point, I may or may not see those changes right away.
Right.
Okay.
That is true. So if that's the case, usually you have a way to flush your cache, either right on site or within your host. And a lot of places have that right within the site now.
Okay.
Depends on
Yeah,
where
I know that many times I have made changes and I look at it and it's not changed, it's not changed, it's not changed.
Right.
And then I finally remember to do the cache.
Right. So here you see if I'm hosting this on Nexus, if I go to page cache here, I could actually just save any changes there and clear the site cache. And if you hadn't seen those changes take effect yet, they would after I cleared the cache. But yeah, sometimes caching just takes it can take up to an hour or two before the cache catches up if it's something that's not frequent on your host.
Is that clearing the cache, is that WordPress or is that theme dependent?
It's WordPress and it's host dependent. So it's something that happens at the hosting level, not at the WordPress level. But within your WordPress, depending on who you're hosted with, you may be able to clear the cache within WordPress. When I was on SiteGround before, I would have to actually go into my SiteGround portal and clear the cache there. I just don't know if they still do it that way or not. I haven't worked with SiteGround in a little while.
So Michelle, is what you put, the CSS that you put in the customize, that's executed last when the WordPress engine, processes your site, your page?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Which is why, seeing here displayed down on the header is actually working because it overrides what's in the theme file, which is to display the header.
Okay. Yeah, one tricky thing with some themes, like visual, what is it? I can't remember right now. Visuals, I can't remember it. Anyways, some of those themes are generated with seems like random IDs. They're sometimes hard to track down when you're trying to, you do a source, you're looking for the source. Okay, pretty complicated to try to identify those and stick those into the customize.
Absolutely. Sometimes, and there's times, I'm pretty good with CSS. I've been doing it a while, but I have a friend who's way better at it than I am. And when I absolutely cannot fix something, I just text him and I'm like, I need your help. How do I make this not show up? And I have other people do that with me. And I'm like, oh, let me see if I can figure that out for you. And sometimes I can. And sometimes I turn to my friend Mark and I go, hey, my friend so-and-so needs some help with this. Because sometimes it's not as easy to pinpoint where those things are coming from, to be able to make the change to them. Just like I said, like when I was trying to figure out where the background color is coming from here. Yeah. And I'm expecting the background color and I'm not seeing a page background here anywhere. You see, body is going to be...
You have a lot of variables there.
Well, it's part of the theme, yeah.
Yeah.
And those are all for text, right? Because that's all color. So those are text colors there, presets that you could choose. But again, I'm not seeing, unless it's here. I don't think so. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, so somehow it's behind something else. The background color is actually behind whatever's on top of it. So it's harder to do. But the theme lets me do it, right? So the theme was easy to do. With Cadence, I could just say what color I want everything to be. So I don't have to use CSS for that. But I did have to use it to hide the header. If I wanted to, with Cadence, change the button colors, that was super easy to do within the theme itself. All of my, my fonts and everything. And sometimes you can see that. So over here, this is for Cadence. This isn't for everything, but I can usually come to my colors here. I can find my global palette. You can see here I chose my link colors. All of that was right here within the customizer, like my buttons You can see my background, my button colors here. Everything I was able to do within the customizer for those things, but there was no way that I could hide the header. There wasn't a way to say no header, so I had to use CSS to hide the header.
It was clever. Display none.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's like when I can't figure out any other way to turn it off, display none, important, and it goes away. So, what other things would you like to see? What other questions do you have? I mean, I'm happy to show you anything I know or can figure out. One of my favorite things I used to do when I would show people how to do CSS is just pull up any website. Like if I could go to wordpress.org. Let's see if I can change the color header here. Yep, so the background
change
here
the
is
font.
I could change anything here, right? So maybe let's say I wanted to go with pink. I could now be WordPress is pink. Is it really pink? No, it's not really pink. It's just, for me, it's pink right now. But I could, as soon as I hit refresh, it's gonna go back to that WordPress blue color. Because I'm only looking at it on my own screen. I didn't change it, everybody. I didn't hack anything. It's fun to play with other people's websites that way and see how you can make them look, but nothing actually happens.
One thing that some themes allow is when you define an element from, say, their element kit, they have the option to define an ID or a CSS class that you can code right there for that particular object. Is that right?
Nope. One of the things with the new block editor is you can actually affect CSS block by block. And that's what like the Divi theme does. Like you can change CSS block by block in Divi. You can do that in Elementor, different page builders. Excuse me. You can change fonts, you can change colors, you can do all that block by block. You used to be able to do that before page builders, and certainly not before page builders continue to grow to where they are today. So we rely on CSS a little less and less as kind of an everyday user of WordPress, but certainly there are times like when you want to hide a header that won't go away, that you want to go ahead and just do that display none or whatever else, whatever else works to make it happen.
Michelle, can you hear me now?
I do, but I hear a really bad echo.
I've put in chat three meta tag functions that can be put onto websites, onto the top of the page that could be used to clear the cache on every time we reload or refresh.
I see them. Thank you.
Yep.
So if you didn't understand, Andy said he's got three tags in the chat that can be used to clear the cache as well. So let's see. I don't know how to, it's behind stuff now. I think I can close that. Okay. What else can I show you? What other questions do you have? I can show you the rest of the slideshow so you can see where I have some more. Let's see. So these are the resources. I do have this slideshow uploaded to slideshare.net. So I'll share the link for that afterwards, both on Twitter and in our WordPress groups. So if you are looking for learning more about CSS, I highly recommend w3schools.com. When I can't remember, like, oh shoot, how do I change the whatever? I just Google it, I just search it in W3 Schools. It's a really, really awesome resource for more than CSS, but for CSS and HTML specifically. Then there's all these other classes you can do. There's CSS.tricks, Codecademy, blog on .hubspot's got an article, CSStutorial.net, and Mozilla, developermozilla.org. There's all kinds of things you can do that. This t-shirt, I love this because it shows what I was talking about. So color means the font color, background means the background color. So the t-shirt color written in black, the background is white. The one I had let's see, I had that one off. Where was the other one? Oh, there it is. CSS, change everything. just change it all.
It'd be important.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like I said, I did want to give you some more resources. So it's on my slide share. And like I said, I'll share that link out later. But if you took a screenshot or something, you'd have all the information that you need to get in touch with me if you have questions.
So Michelle, I do have a question.
Yeah.
This is Trevor. So when I'm doing that additional CSS and I make changes there, so that's not doing it in my, is it doing it in the theme or is it doing it in the child theme?
It's not doing it in either. It's doing it in WordPress.
It's doing it in WordPress. So if it's been a long time since I've changed a theme, kind of once a site's up and running, if I change my theme, does it wipe that bit?
It does.
Or
it does. Because,
okay.
Yeah, because that section there is going to be dependent on the theme itself. What shows up in there is dependent on your theme. And so that is going to clear depending on the theme.
Okay.
Yep. I'm glad you asked.
I think it goes in a different PHP file, like function or something like that, that gets executed, you know, at the end.
Yeah, I think you're right. And truthfully, if you changed your theme, you don't necessarily want all those CSS to carry through because you don't even know what's called what in those different areas.
Right.
So, other questions, ideas, inputs?
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of experience about WordPress, but I want to know that can you use video with WordPress?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So specifically, you can embed YouTube and Vimeo with just the links, so that you're not using resources.
Okay. You only can use links. Okay.
You can embed video traditionally, but then if you put the video on your server and you call to it, it's gonna be much slower and it's gonna use up more resources than if you are embedding it from YouTube or Vimeo or another source.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, thank you.
Yep. So you utilize other people's resources to make your site go faster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need to be fast about that. Yeah.
Exactly. Other questions? It doesn't have to be about CSS. We could talk about anything WordPress related. Trevor?
So, Michelle, I do have another one. So when on one of my websites, when I'm in the back end and I'm taking a look at it, in where I customize, my title bar is black. Now, if I look at the website anywhere else, it's fine, but it's just in the customizer, it has it black. And when I change that bar, you know, I change the CSS for that, it stays right where it's at, is that black.
It's only for you who's logged in?
Correct. And it's only, you know, when I'm in the customizer or, well, actually, let me check one thing real quick. Yeah, if I visit the site within, no, when I'm in the site anywhere, when I'm logged in, it has that background is black.
I'm not sure I'm following. Do you want to share your screen and show us?
Sure.
Let me know if you can't share your screen. I might have to make you a co-host.
Okay, give me just a second. Oh, it says host is disabled, participant screen sharing.
I don't know how. I've tried to fix that. You should be able to now. I've made you a co-host.
No, go to settings.
I have. I've changed it in the settings a million times. It just won't stick. But you should have it now, Trevor.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you seeing it now? Or am I sharing?
So you're talking about your header.
I'm talking about my header up here. Yeah, it's black there, but if I go somewhere else, you know, so I'm in a different browser. It has the color that I want it to be.
So it's only that you are logged in and that's why it's doing that.
Exactly.
If you go to your customize, what do you have in your CSS area? You can just click customize right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that additional CSS, almost always toward the bottom.
Yeah. Thank you. So you know what? I don't know that I have it listed in here.
Yeah, I don't see anything in there that would suggest that it should do that when you're logged in. I mean, the good news is if it's only happening for you because you're logged in, then it's not really an issue.
Right. Yeah, you can see here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when I go into the theme to try to change it, it says it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's odd. I don't know. Is it a Divi? Are you using Divi on this?
No.
Okay.
I'm
Do you know
not using Divi on this
what
one.
theme you're using?
The one that goes with WooCommerce shop storefront.
Okay. So what I would do then is it a free one or did you have to pay for that? I don't remember.
This one's free.
Okay, so then if you go to wordpress.org and look up that theme, you should be able to ask that question in the forums. And somebody might be able to answer that question because it's not, it seems to me it's theme specific.
Okay.
I love the forums. People are like, they're denizens of the forums. They'll be like, oh, I'm going to answer that one.
I'll try that out. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Other WordPress things to talk about.
Yeah, I've got a question.
Yeah, Jim.
Actually, can I share my screen?
Yeah, hold on. I got to make you a co-host. Just don't kick me out of my own meetup.
Can I share now or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were doing that.
So
Huh?
when I go to this page, this is my about page.
Mm-hmm.
And the only place this ever happens is on my screen. I think everybody else, if they look at it, the video pops up. I look at my phone, it pops up or whatever. And I can't figure out for the life of me why this video won't show up on my, when I look at it.
Is it only when you're logged in or is it on your browser?
No, it's on my browser.
Because you're not even logged in right now. Huh.
No.
Let me,
So, I mean, look at it on your computer, tcspindles,
yeah.
tcspindles.com.
And then the about page.
Yeah.
Yep, it's showing up for me.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. All I could think of is somehow on that browser. Could you go to the video itself on your browser? Like, could you open it up in YouTube?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Again, as long as it's only happening to you, it's less of an issue, but I have no idea why that would be.
Okay.
That's really odd. It's got to be a browser issue because if everybody else can see it and you can see it every place else, then it's literally something just with how your browser's cached or something. I'm not sure. Very odd.
Are you using an iframe for that?
Might be.
Video?
It might be. This was done a long time ago.
Yeah, you are, because it says reload frame for me.
Yeah. The code that's in the iframe, if it's not in your control, often can be changed because there's an ID that's part of the video too that could change.
It's your own video too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
But it's in your YouTube site, in your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should be able to pick it up.
If you want to log in and show us what it looks like on that page, we might be able to help you look at it that way too.
You're asking me to do something I haven't done in a long time.
Log into your website?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't everybody look now.
Well, we're going to see our dots.
That's the same password I have.
Yeah.
12 dots, that's fine too.
Same number of characters.
Well.
Okay, hit the text at the top instead of visual. Almost right to the left of where you are there. See, it says visual and then text, the two tabs to the right at the top of your where you type.
Hang on, I got so many things up here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Come down to where it says add contact form and slide to the right.
Add contact form.
Add media, add gallery, and then you'll see two tabs says visual and one says text.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. I had a pop-up on it. It was, where am I going?
Okay, do you see above where you type, it says add media, add gallery, add contact form. Slide to the right and you see visual.
Oh, yes, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was hidden behind a pop-up.
No worries. So slide down to, let's slide down to where you've got your, let's see. Here's your iframe source.
Here's the YouTube video.
Yeah. Huh. Why do you have list equals? Like, it's hard to see what it says, but.
You know, something, so you've got a double slash there that is not a full address. That's like on your site. You don't have like an HTTPS in front of the www.youtube.com.
So right here?
Yeah.
Try HTTPS before the double slash, HTTPS.
HTTPS. Colon.
Yeah, try that.
And now click visual. Go click visual where it said text at the top and let's see if it shows up. Nope.
Do a refresh.
Yeah, click update.
Okay. Surprised.
Go to YouTube and get the let's put that area,
yeah,
that link in all together.
Yeah. Or copy the what you have in the text there and paste that in a URL. See if that goes anywhere. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So Jim, I just posted it, but it looks like you're just about there.
So click the share button. Yep. And then embed.
Copy.
Well, if you want to embed the iframe, click the whole embed and then copy.
Yeah.
And then scroll down and you could copy that whole thing.
Where does it say copy? It doesn't say copy in here.
Well, just select it and copy it.
Yeah, it should. Usually it just has a copy, but it's okay. Okay, copy that. And let's go back to your site then. And go back to text. And scroll down to where that is. And right from where it says iframes, the right, like the second line down, and it says iframe source equals, grab that all the way to the end of the next iframe, right there. And then paste in the new thing that you just put in. Now go to visual and see what it looks like. There you go.
There it is.
So now click update. So you've got that.
Yeah.
And then
sometimes
and then view page so we can see the whole thing again. Make sure it's showing up for you. There you
Sweet.
go.
Ah, thank you.
You're welcome. It looked like it just had some extra code in there for some reason. I'm not sure, but that did it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I will stop the share.
Okay. Other questions, other help anybody needs, anything?
Okay, I'll have a challenge here, but I can't, because I'm on my iPad, I can't share, I can't get into the WordPress dashboard as easily, but if you want to go to a site, I'll put it in the chat here.
Okay.
Just so that you can copy and paste if I can go to chat. Okay, it's very easy.
Hey, Michelle.
Yes.
Can you, while he's doing that, I had a tough time figuring out how to get logged into this tonight's meeting. Is it possible just to put the Zoom link in the Facebook
Oh, I usually do. I just forgot. And actually, it's in the original one. It's just not in today's.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look here. So now we're looking at Walter's site.
If you scroll down to where the testimonials are, towards the bottom, a little bit up, I think. Oh, actually, click on, click on the Beyond Usability Associates link there.
I'm sorry, where?
Yeah, in the red there, and yeah, click on that link. Yeah, we'll go to the subsite. So now in there in the testimonials. Okay, you see the bullets there.
Yeah.
So the theme presents these red bullets, and I'm trying to, because I have bullets elsewhere that I want them to be white, but they're misaligned, and I can't get rid of the red bullets.
Yeah, I see that.
That, you know, I've tried some override in my customization, but I can't get to them. I can't figure out how to hide them.
If I inspect pagination color gray, let's see. They're blocked by this one, I think. Let's see. Okay, let's see now if I can get to this one. Yeah, it takes them all away. That's not good.
Yeah, it takes them all away.
Yeah.
It's like,
You'd have to try, like, let's see if we just did this one. Well, that didn't work. Oh, because I put the name of the website. That's why. Let's see. PC underscore pagination. VC underscore pagination dash title. It took them all the way again. Let's see if I take that one out. Nope. Everything I keep doing takes it all.
Yeah. That's why I've kind of resigned myself to leaving them like as in their shadow.
I'm sure there's a way to do it. I would have to spend a little time trying to narrow it down though. If I figure it out, I'll definitely message you.
Well, that would be very noble of you if you're curious, but I don't want to take any of your time like that. I do remember once working at one of the word camps with one of the volunteers there, and we struggled with that. We figured out other problems, but that one kind of eluded us.
Yeah.
Now there's one way. There's a CSS command. I have to research it. That can change the alignment of the radio buttons. You can adjust the alignment.
Mm-hmm.
If I could do that, and I can get them, the red buttons hiding under the gray buttons, that would be great.
Exactly. So these two. So this class of pagination item is definitely the gray buttons. You see that. That's really interesting. There's nothing I'm finding is.
Yeah, you identify it, but then you write the CSS and it's kind of ignoring it.
Yeah.
It's not catching.
No, it is not, for sure. Huh. I don't know what to tell you.
In your when you use Divi, and you access it from the dashboard, do you have a section? Say, I use WP Bakery Page Builder for this site. There's a custom CSS that's related just to this plugin, which is different than the customize. You know what? I should try that. What we've been trying here with the radio buttons, maybe I need to narrow it down to this CSS section as opposed to doing it in the sort of more global section.
Right.
In Divi, do you have that as well? Do you have an option like custom CSS that is specific to the Divi?
Yes.
Plugin?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do.
Have you used that at times?
I have, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, works really well. Yeah, I do not see how to get underneath what you have here.
Yeah.
Because if I turn this off, it takes them both. Like I said, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'd love to be able to say, oh, I got that for you. That would be nice.
Thank you.
Sure. Anything else we got tonight? Questions about anything?
Yeah, I've got another one.
Okay, Jim, what's up?
Greenlight has just run their cables down my street.
Nice.
So after 35 years, I want to say goodbye to Spectrum, Roadrunner. I've had my Roadrunner email account for 25, 35 years, something like that.
Yeah.
I want to change it. I'm changing everything over to Gmail. Is there any way to just have my old Roadrunner emails forwarded onto my Gmail, or do I have to keep an account with Spectrum, or does anybody know? Has anybody gone through this?
Yes.
Typically, you can ask. Typically, you can ask the hosting company like Spectrum to put a .forward in. They'll do that for a couple of months and forward all email that goes to domain X to domain Y.
Okay. But I'm assuming I'd still have to be a customer of theirs while that's taking place, right?
No.
But they won't do it forever.
They won't do it forever. They'll do it for about 90 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just basically call up their customer care or whatever and say, forward all my emails from Roadrunner to...
Yeah, just put a .forward in there. Yeah, ask them to put a .forward in that account on your email address that forwards everything to your new address.
Okay, .forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's part of the MX records.
Yep.
To put that forward in my domain.
Yeah, in the for the email address.
90 days. Sweet. Great. Thank you very much.
I want to call your attention to a new website I built. Since we're all here, if you don't mind, I'm going to share something with y'all.
Sweet.
Sure.
So I created a website called wp.events. This is through my job at Stellar Liquid Web. We are using our plugins for this. So this is built on the Cadence theme, and it is using iTheme security, and it's using the events calendar for the calendaring feature. And my idea was to have one place in WordPress or in the internet that pulls all WordPress events together. And so you'll see right now that here we are, the Rochester WordPress Meetup is here. Excuse me. In another hour and a half, this Safely Upgrading PHP one will be on, because you see it's 6 p.m. Pacific. That's the Portland, Oregon Meetup. Next Monday, I can't remember who's doing this one, the list building school, the ins and out of WordPress for the Dallas Fort Worth group. And then the 16th, Dallas Fort Worth has another one. See all these different events coming up, different WordCamps. Next events we have, the one I really want to show you too is, let's see, we have WordPress Accessibility Day. And then we also have WordFest. So we've had WordFest, so this will be the 4th iteration of WordFest. It's an online 24-hour event that I am one of the lead organizers for. And it is literally spans the whole globe. And we're looking for speakers right now. So if you are interested in being a speaker, you can apply to speak at WordFest Live. And that's through the organization that I'm president of the board, which is Big Orange Heart, which is a charitable organization for mental health in our remote work communities. You can also add an event. So if you have an event coming up, you know of a meetup or a WordCamp or a webinar that's WordPress related, you can also add them here. I'll get a notification, and if it's appropriate for WP.events, I will add it to the calendar. So if you're looking for events, this is a great one-stop place, just WP.events. Pretty sweet, huh?
Nice. Yeah, very nice.
It is nice.
Thank you.
Michelle, what is the plugin that you use for forms?
For forms, I use WS Form.
WS Form.
Mm-hmm.
Have you used other ones that?
I've used all of them.
that you have sort of narrowed to. You said WS Forms.
Yeah, WS Form. Here, I'll show you. Let me show you that website too.
Gravity. A couple of our sites, Kathy's using Gravity Forms, and very complex forms.
Yep. This is WS Form. It can be as complex or simple as you want it to be. Sometimes you'll see my face right here because I've given him a review. It's feature rich, does a lot of really good things. And I write for his blog sometimes, and I just wrote this one, which is super fun. Using the form to create Mad Libs. You all remember Mad Libs, right?
That's cool.
So you get to the bottom and you've got your own little, there's a story in there, and the Mad Lib story fills in, and it's just super, super fun. But WS Form is great. There's a WS Form Lite free version you can start playing with in the WordPress repo on WordPress.org. And then if you decide you want more, richer features, you can go to WS Form and get a copy, sign up for a copy there, buy a copy and a subscription. It's comparable price-wise to Gravity Forms. It's just different, and it also, I think I've moved away from Gravity Forms into WS Form mostly because it's got a lot more features that really work for what I want to do. And you can make different versions of your form within one form for how it will display on mobile versus a desktop and tablet, because you can change the width of your forms easily for those different things, all within the same form. So you don't have to have multiple forms for that. Accessibility is built in as well. Yeah, it's just,
Nice.
and you can have columns, which is nice. So you can move around your buttons and your fields into columns, which makes it super nice
Yeah,
too.
I like that. I like that.
Mhm. So, and
Thank you.
I don't get a kickback on that, so it's just because I like it. I don't even get paid to
I
help.
used to use Caldera, but they closed down.
Yeah, I use Caldera too. A friend of mine owned Caldera, but not anymore. You see right behind me here, this box on the couch. That is the Lego typewriter that I have yet to build. That was a gift from WS Forum for all the extra stuff that I've been helping him with lately.
Nice, nice.
So
You're busy.
I like being busy.
So who
you have
are you?
another meeting later on today.
So who all are you working for these days, Michelle? I can't ever figure out who, what, or where.
Well, I mean, like I get paid for working with Post Status as my second job, but Liquid Web as my first job, Stellar WP. But then I write for different blogs here and there, and I volunteer a lot with WordPress.org, and I volunteer a lot with Big Orange Heart. And then I also still do some work every month for Sentry Hosting.
Nice. Well, thank you for putting this together.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I'm gonna have to scram, but
it's good to see you, Walter.
It was good. Thank you for trying to fix my site.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you at the next meetup.
Absolutely.
The next meetup is in the library.
We have the one in the library will be our co-working day.
Oh, that's co-working day. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to continue to have these online for a little while longer until we get past monkeypox and COVID and things like that, because I think more people would rather kind of meet online than to get together in person for that. So co-working for people who want to brave it will be at the library in Irondequoit coming up later this month. And then we will continue to meet the first of the month. Except I think Labor Day, we won't be meeting Labor Day. It'll be the following Monday. For September.
Thanks again. Good to see everyone.
Good to see you too.
Thank you for helping fix my site, Walter.
Michelle?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I have a question when I'm ready.
Yeah, go ahead, Gerald.
Okay. This is an e-commerce site.
Okay.
And I have a subscription to a service that gives me a lot of graphic artwork to use, and people can look at and decide what they want and how they want it changed.
Okay.
When I'm signed into that account, I get it's basically an HTML block that I paste into an HTML block in my website, so that comes up as part of my website. I don't send them to another location. I keep them within my website. Problem I'm running into is, and I've got several people have suggested this, that if there was a way of changing the number of items shown in a row, right now the default, it only shows 4, and they're talking about wanting to do 2 or maybe even 1 when they want to do it. I don't know if that's going to be in anything. Is that something I can change, or is that something I need to go back to the vendor and get them to help me with that?
It depends. I'd have to look at the site to let you know.
Can I share my site and I'll show you?
Yep, hold on. Let me make you the co-host. All right, you should be able to share your screen now.
Okay. This is the first part of the site that's under construction right now. If I come up here on the menu and pick on design ideas, that takes me to a web page on my site that has all the images and everything that are in the area.
Okay.
And see, it does nicely with 4, and I don't know if it would, I don't think I want to go to 6, but I might go to 2. Although with over 6,000 design ideas here, that's a lot of.
Yeah, for sure. What are you using to display those? Is it are you using WooCommerce, or is that entire section coming from another website?
This is all coming from the other website.
Okay, can you click to edit that page and we can see if we can make a change there?
Certainly.
Okay, I can't see it. Can you make it bigger? Even with my glasses, I can't see it. If you can make your screen bigger. Usually command and plus or control plus sometimes will make your screen bigger. There you go.
Is that better?
Yep, that's much better. Let's see. And if you scroll down, is it anywhere does it say like how many elements across is what we're looking for?
I haven't found it when I've been looking in here.
No,
that's the entire script.
Yeah, I see that. So if you go to the website you're pulling that from, are there settings where you can make that change?
No, there is not.
Okay, then there is no way to do it without, because you're pulling it in from another website.
Okay, I wasn't sure on that.
Yeah.
People are looking at it for me are kind of suggesting changes.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, personally, I think with over 6,000, my guess is if you click any one of those, they get bigger, right? So with over 6,000, they don't?
They do not. They do not get bigger.
How could people see a bigger design then?
Well, that's what I don't know for sure, how I can do that.
Can you go back to the home page?
Okay.
I mean, to that display page?
You want to go back
to the page we were looking at when I asked you to edit it. So I don't know what page that was.
Okay.
So you opened it in a new tab.
Okay.
I think right next to it, that one there. Yep. There you go.
Yeah, okay. Now, there are actually 3 sections in here. This is complete design ideas. And these are set up so like if you wanted to change the fall Harvest Festival to another name, it's all done with templates. So you just type in the text you want and it'll automatically do all the formatting for that design.
So when you click that, what happens?
When I click this, it just brings it up here.
Oh, so they do see it bigger. So they do see it bigger there. Okay.
Yeah. And then they can put notes in here.
Right.
For personalization. So if they want to change the name and city of the state down here at the bottom, they want to do, you know, any changes they want to do. If they want to amend it, you know, to Winter Harvest Festival or Winter Wonderland.
Yeah. We can make those changes.
Years.
Yeah.
I download this and it's available both in a CDR and an AI format. In the CDR, there's a template generator. It's a tool that you just go in and just type in the changes. You know, you don't have to, typically when you're working on these, like in AI or in Illustrator, you have to go in, if you've got like shadows and extrudes and all the other things, you've got to go through and do all of those individually, all those steps individually. But with this add-on tool that this company has for CorelDRAW, it's all a template. If it takes 6 steps to get what you want, you just go change the word and it's done.
So if you hit cancel on that, then it just closes that light box, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what I meant by they could see it bigger if they wanted to. It will pop open.
But it also puts a check mark on it for them.
Oh, nice.
You notice up in the corner. Then when you go to, you can actually, when you get done, you can actually go next step and it'll actually, you can send an email with the chosen designs, whether it's 1 or 20 that you would like to work with. And then what directions you want. And I can literally, in a matter of, you know, very short time, I can make the changes you want. Like colors, or it's a really flexible type thing. And if you don't, with besides design ideas, which is a complete design, and you can sub out, like if you've got a football in it and you want a basketball in it, you can do that, or a hockey puck, or whatever you want on that design. Now in clip art, it's just individual pieces of, just like it says, clip art, but there's over 10,000.
Wow. I think you're pretty much stuck with the 4 across design unless you can go back to the company and get them a different code from them to put fewer across.
Well, the next time I'm visiting with Craig, which is one of the officers that I've known for 12 years, I mean, I'm going to mention it to him. But you can also sort by categories and different things, so you can narrow down the number that you want.
Yeah. None of that is WordPress. It's all just being fed from the other site.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I can.
Yep. That's cool. There's so much you can do just with frames and things like that, for sure.
Yeah, and then when they do that, then I get, I can make the changes. I can send them a proposal of what they want to do to approve or disapprove, all from in here.
That's awesome. Well, let's see if anybody else has any other WordPress questions we can help with.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, I can't help yours. It's not WordPress.
I figured I would ask.
Yeah, for sure. If there was something in that code I could have helped with, I absolutely would have, for sure.
What is your business, Gerald?
Well, what I do is we do dye sublimation, imaging on different products like T-shirts and cutting boards and wood and metal and all kinds of stuff. We do this site here I'm setting up to help do fundraisers, like for churches and schools, where they can come in and decide what they want to do for their fundraising, and then they can I'll set up a sub area, and people can come in and order online. And that way they don't have to prepay and order 100 of them to get started or anything. I can print singles.
Huh, interesting. What's your business?
My business, this one is yourfundraising.org.
What's your printing business?
What do you mean printing business?
You print T-shirts and coffee cups and things like that?
Yes.
What's your business?
Well, I'm working on that too, and it's called componentconcepts.us. But it's under construction right now because I'm testing out. I'm using WooCommerce, and I'm testing out a block that lets me build custom product pages with the block editor.
Nice.
But if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me.
What's the fundraiser one?
Yourfundraising.org.
Any other WordPress questions, ideas, inputs, need help? Well, we're all here. Hi, Don.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Doing okay. I know Gerald.
Oh, nice.
We kind of bounce around.
Yeah, we see each other.
Nice.
Yeah, I do volunteer work at the local VA, so I got hung up today. So I'm just getting home.
No worries. So we do have a co-working coming up later in the month. I don't remember the date. I want to say the 16th, but I could be wrong. Let me look. I am correct. It is the 16th. So we will be doing co-working at the Irondequoit Library from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. if anybody's interested in the area and joining us for that. I realize those of you who are not in the Rochester area, that'll be a bit of a stretch.
What's the time again? 10 to 3?
10 to 4.
And
I had to leave early.
Bring your power cords.
I had to leave early last time because I left my power. I brought the cord, but not the part that plugs into the wall. So that was embarrassing, but I will have that with me next time, I promise. Yeah, I had to go back to the office because I ran out of juice.
Does anybody got any familiarity with video hosting sites besides Vimeo and YouTube for WordPress?
I do not.
A friend of mine's he's got a plugin. I'll have to go find the old email. I just didn't, because I haven't researched it. And I was just wondering if anybody else had experience with a third-party hosting service.
I'm sorry, no.
I'm familiar with the two you mentioned, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to dig. He sent me the link. I have to think. Well, maybe I can do that right now.
Yeah, I start going to, I found the meetups quite some time ago. I live in Tucson, Arizona.
Okay.
And they used to have some here, but they moved me to a part of town where it made me feel uncomfortable at night. So, and then the pandemic hit, and then I just have a single website that's a personal website. It was done over a decade ago using HTML and Notepad. And it's like a tribute to the people I served with in Vietnam, the losses we had over there. So for over a year now, I've been saying I'm going to update it with WordPress. I keep going to meetups and I get my volunteer work, and then I've got other stuff that I help out with. So, but yeah, I just enjoy coming and learning.
Yeah, that's awesome. Learning is the best.
And then yeah. I keep a website for our American Legion updated.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, he's using Jetpack Video Press. It says about $100 a year.
Interesting. So, I didn't know they'd done that.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it. I haven't researched it. I just, I'm starting to, I got so many videos and I'm starting to think about, what am I going to do with these things? Because I'd probably like to get away from YouTube and all their commercials and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right, I'm going to scoot, but thank you very much. I appreciate the help answering my questions. Nice to see you, Trevor.
Nice to see you, Jim.
Sometime when you're on this side of town, give me a call and we'll have a pop.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So, all right. Nice to hear your voice, Andy. Have a good
Thanks,
month, everybody.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Jim. Stay safe.
Well, thanks for hosting the event.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody have any other questions we can help with, or are we calling it a night?